This is Justin AMZN on Thursday, August 26th, 2021. So on the daily here, we had a little bit of a higher high, higher low, ran right into the 21 exponential moving average, kind of getting this little bit of the squeeze here. You can see between the 5 and the 21. So we'll see if we can press another day maybe, or I don't know, we'll see if we can break out or break down. But this is a really nice stair step. It's just two candles, but it's a continuation pattern. Where we're at, we should go higher. Um, this hammer here, like this is really kind of the price where we had a stair step before and we broke down with this hammer, but then recovered. If we do something like that again here, we could break down and still recover, or like we can put in another hammer. If we do happen to do that, I mean, you could be buying, I mean, we could still bounce off the 200, maybe an entry around 3,200 if you're just looking to get into more shares, kind of the middle of this larger candle. I don't know if we're going to pull them down that far or if we'll just keep on going down to this line. If we do end up breaking down, if we do put in a candle like this, that's why I'm looking at this. Like this was a continuation pattern going down. Now, are we seeing a continuation pattern going up? Could we run up and hit the 100 next? You know, are these kind of opposite? And the candles are. So we had a bullish day, bearish day, and this we had a bearish day, bullish day. So it's a little bit opposite. We're seeing the squeeze here between the 21 and the 5. Over here, we're seeing the squeeze between the 5 and the 200. So there's some similarities to where we're at and the pricing. Obviously, we're about the same area here too. So anyway, let's jump into the 5 minutes and I'll show you some things on the options. So we opened up pretty flat and went sideways, kind of stayed on the 21, put in this really nice candle here. Would have been great if this was a little bit stronger of recovery. This is not quite a hammer candle because the body and the lower wick are about the same size. It is a good bouncing candle. And the RSI was not low enough, but the RSI got lower over here and tagged the over, I'm always mixing this up. Probably later it gets, I mix it up better, but we were oversold right at 10 o'clock. The only issue with this was, well, let me jump over to the 33.25 call. The only issue here is the low on this candle was $6 and the low on the next candle was 605. The low back over here, the candle we were just talking about, was 570. You really had to have an order ready to go at $6 from earlier, because I think this would have been way too quick right at the close to get a fill at 6. That was the toughest part of this. And this looks really, really small. Let me kind of zoom in on this because that was a pretty big bounce right off of 6. It came down only to 605. Maybe there wasn't an order open at 6 on this candle, and you would have had maybe 30 seconds, probably under a minute, to get that fill before it really ran up. I think that was the only issue with getting in there, but really had the nice pullback with the RSI. It dipped down below the oversold. The put poked up above the overbought. And what I really liked about 3,300 put, I'm going to draw it in because, I mean, this is so good of a signal. We had really solid resistance right here. So we ran into it again here after we put it in 3 candles and then that wick. And it's like, okay, yeah, short off of that. But instead of shorting it and selling the put and making money as the put goes down, just get into a call at that same time. So it would have worked here, would have worked easily getting in at 6 or around this area and letting it run up to 10 for 4R, or this moves so quickly and this candle did not touch 10 that if I was in that, I would have been canceling my target and moving my target, canceling the $10 target for 4R and moving that up to 14 for a total of an 8R target. That's if I was in at 6. So if I was in a little bit above that, then it would have been a little bit above 10, a little bit above 14. This is one that I guess, I mean, this is kind of the resistance, the only resistance earlier in the day that we came into right in here. And this is a little lower on this candle than I drew right here. So you could have given it a little bit more room to go. But I mean, you could have just let this run and get that stop up to 10 and then leave the target kind of undefined until, okay, here's a stair step, kind of a little bit of some lower highs, a little bit of a squeeze that breaks out. Okay, 20 minutes of buying, it's getting into another stair step here, and look to get out if we break down there, and just keep trailing that stop up, which you probably could have easily gone up to 16. So would I have waited to maybe get stopped out at 16 or just taken the profit at 14 as a target? It depends on where you're at for the month. It depends on what you're looking for and how the rest of the chart looks. So could this have continued to break down here and go on lower? Absolutely. Could this have broken up? Maybe. I like when it runs like that after it's come back into the 21. And so I think that would have given it a better bounce. Granted, we came into the 21 and that's when we just went sideways for the rest of the day. So obviously we weren't setting up to that, but we've done that other days. So I thought that was a really good place to enter. Like I said, you had to have the order open from here. And, that's just a little bit early. Like, that's a great candle, but getting in way up here and a stop way down here, way too big of a risk. That's not a $100 risk. But anyway, yeah, so the rest of this played out just sideways the rest of the day on the put, didn't really make much. We lost a ton of value on the call. We're still in this range. We're a little bit above 3,300. I said into Friday, we may be kind of around the 3,300 price. So if we can compress a little bit more one more day, that means more resting, but I don't know if everything is setting up to do that. So after hours, we're still right in this range. So that's not giving us any indication. But if we do gap down, and let's say we gap down just like this day, and let me zoom in on the daily. Let's say Friday is not like this hammer candle, but we do end up gapping down again. If we gap down, we could take out the low. We could take out this candle as well. And we could open actually below the 200 if there's some selling going on. And then, that's kind of what this candle set up with. It sold way down and recovered. We could still see that within the same day. But if it gaps down that much, we're taking out some bullishness these days, So look out for that to happen. If we do break out, look for it to kind of rest at the 21 here on the daily, and this is right at 33.30. Look for it to kind of rest there. We got up to 33.32 today, I think. Yep, and that was the high. So we'll see if we can pause there ever so slightly, and then continue on up if we do end up moving up higher. So hope this helps. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.